Did you know that the very first erection you have each morning may actually reveal more about your health than your last checkup? Most men assume that morning erections are just random biology, a leftover from a dream, or something they stop thinking about after a certain age. But here's the shocking truth: if your morning erections are fading, weaker, or inconsistent after the age of 50 or 60, your body may be signaling that something deeper, something critical, is happening inside your blood vessels, your hormones, or even your heart. Think about it. Erections are not just about desire, they're about circulation. For your body to produce a firm, reliable morning erection, your blood vessels must be healthy, your nerves intact, and your testosterone levels adequate. When even one of these systems is under stress, your body may fail to deliver. And often, the first warning sign of heart disease or diabetes in men is not chest pain. It's erectile dysfunction. That quiet absence in the morning can speak louder than words. But this isn't only about health, it's about identity, confidence, and connection. Imagine how a man feels when he notices those changes. He might start questioning himself: am I less of a man? Am I losing my vitality? Will my partner notice? These silent doubts can eat away at self-esteem and create distance in relationships. And because we don't talk about it, because society teaches men to be silent about sexual health, the issue grows. What starts as a medical condition becomes a psychological burden, and what could be addressed early is left to worsen in silence. Now, here's the challenge: too many men ignore this signal. They say, it's just age, or it's not a big deal. But age is not the enemy here, neglect is. Yes, testosterone naturally declines. Yes, vascular health changes with time, but science shows that lifestyle, mindset, and medical care can profoundly shape the trajectory. Men who take ownership by improving diet, exercising regularly, managing stress, and seeking medical advice are not just protecting their erections. They're protecting their hearts, their confidence, and their relationships. So let's break down what's really happening. When you sleep, your body cycles through different stages, and during REM sleep, your brain sends signals that trigger erections. It's nature's way of maintaining healthy penile tissue and ensuring oxygen-rich blood flow. If that pattern breaks down, we have to ask, is blood flow compromised? Are the nerves responding? Are hormones balanced? Every weak or missing morning erection is like a red flag, a chance to investigate before something serious develops. And here's the empowering truth: you are not powerless. Studies show that men who adopt heart-healthy habits, like walking briskly for 30 minutes a day, quitting smoking, reducing alcohol, and eating more plant-based meals, see improvements in erectile function. Addressing sleep apnea, managing diabetes, or lowering blood pressure doesn't just add years to your life. It adds quality to your intimate life. And let's not forget the emotional side. When you talk to your partner openly, when you let go of shame, intimacy often deepens because vulnerability creates trust. Ask yourself, do you want to wait until your body forces you to act, or do you want to see your morning erection as the powerful signal it is? One path is denial, brushing off the signs, clinging to myths, and letting health slip away. The other path is awareness, using science, self-care, and courage to transform your health from the inside out. Which path do you want for yourself and for the person who shares your bed? Because here's the mic drop truth: your morning erection is not just about sex, it's about survival. It is your body's free daily report card on your vascular and hormonal health. Ignore it, and you gamble with your future. Respect it, and you not only protect your erections, you protect your life, your love, and the legacy of the man you choose to be. Here's something most men have never been told: your pelvic floor, the muscles you rarely think about, could be the difference between weak, inconsistent erections and strong, confident ones. Yes, the same hidden muscles that control urination and support your core are also the foundation of your sexual health. Yet, because we don't see them, because they're not talked about openly, millions of men let this powerhouse of performance weaken with age, stress, and neglect. And the result: embarrassing leaks, poor control, weaker erections, and a silent decline in confidence. Let's get real. For years, the conversation about male sexual health has centered around testosterone or pills. But here's the taboo truth: if your pelvic floor isn't strong, no amount of testosterone or medication can fully compensate. Erections require healthy blood flow, yes, but they also require muscular support to trap and maintain that blood in the penis. When those muscles weaken, blood escapes too quickly. Erections lose firmness and performance suffers. It's not just biology, it's mechanics. Think about the way men react when they notice changes in sexual function. Some blame age, some withdraw from intimacy, some silently worry about disappointing their partner. The psychological toll is just as damaging as the physical one. Confidence fades, relationships grow distant, and men start believing myths. It's normal to lose function after 50, or nothing can be done without medication. But here's the challenge. Those beliefs are lies we've been sold by silence. The science tells us something very different. Research shows that targeted pelvic floor training can dramatically improve erectile rigidity, staying power, and even orgasm control. Just as lifting weights strengthens your biceps, Kegel-style exercises train the deep muscles that support your bladder, bowel, and penis. In one study, over 70% of men with erectile dysfunction saw significant improvement after consistent pelvic floor exercise, 70%. That's not hope. It's evidence. And yet, how many men know this? How many doctors talk about it before writing a prescription? Here's the part that should wake you up. Neglecting your pelvic floor doesn't just affect sex. It can lead to urinary leakage after prostate surgery, difficulty controlling your bladder as you age, and even back pain. This is not just about intimacy. It's about independence, dignity, and quality of life. Do you want to face a future where you can't laugh, sneeze, or exercise without worrying about control? Or do you want to build strength now that protects you for decades? Now let's empower the perspective. Training your pelvic floor doesn't require equipment, expensive programs, or even much time. It requires awareness, consistency, and patience. Start by locating the right muscles, the ones you contract when you try to stop urination midstream. Once you know them, practice holding and releasing several times a day. Over weeks and months, these muscles grow stronger, circulation improves, and your ability to maintain an erection naturally increases. Pair this with lifestyle changes, hydration, avoiding smoking, and maintaining a healthy weight, and you'll not only transform your sexual performance, but also your overall pelvic health. And here's the connection most men miss. When you take charge of this hidden strength, you reclaim confidence. Suddenly, intimacy feels less like pressure and more like presence. Instead of worrying about performance, you focus on connection. Instead of silence and shame, you embrace action and growth. And your partner notices, not just in the bedroom, but in the way you carry yourself, the way you engage, the way you own your health. Ask yourself this: will you be the man who ignores the silent decline of his pelvic floor, waiting for medication or surgery to bail him out? Or will you be the man who listens to science, who refuses to accept myths, and who takes charge of his strength from the inside out? One path leads to frustration, dependence, and regret. The other leads to confidence, vitality, and freedom. Because here's the mic drop truth: your pelvic floor is not just a muscle group. It's the foundation of your masculinity, your independence, and your intimate life. Strengthen it, and you don't just change your erections, you change your future. Here's a truth most people don't want to admit. Stress is one of the biggest killers of sexual health, and silence makes it even deadlier. Men and women alike suffer in the bedroom, not because their bodies are broken, but because their lives are overloaded. High-pressure jobs, constant financial worry, relationship conflicts, endless distractions, all of it floods your body with cortisol, the stress hormone. And here's the shocking part: cortisol doesn't just affect your mood. It directly lowers testosterone, disrupts blood flow, and sabotages the very systems you rely on for healthy sexual function. If you've ever wondered why your erections are weaker, why your desire feels flat, or why you can't perform when you want to, stress may be the root cause. But the problem isn't just stress, it's silence. Most men don't talk about these changes. They don't tell their partners when they're worried, and they don't ask their doctors when something feels off. Instead, they withdraw, they avoid intimacy, they carry shame, and they assume they're alone. That silence is the real killer. Because when you don't speak, you lose the opportunity to address the problem early. You trade solutions for secrets, and in that silence, relationships suffer. Partners feel rejected, Confidence crumbles, and what started as a simple medical issue becomes a deep emotional divide. Let's challenge a dangerous myth that men are supposed to be strong by keeping everything inside. That asking for help is weakness. Nothing could be further from the truth. Strength is not about silence, it's about action. Science shows that men who speak openly with their partners about sexual health are more likely to seek treatment, more likely to recover function, and more likely to maintain intimacy. Vulnerability doesn't weaken masculinity, it strengthens connection. Now let's empower this perspective. Stress is not always avoidable, but it is manageable. When you exercise, your body releases endorphins that counteract cortisol. When you sleep well, testosterone naturally rises, fueling both health and intimacy. When you practice mindfulness, whether that's through meditation, prayer, or even deep breathing, you literally rewire your brain's stress response. And when you open up to your partner, you reduce the emotional burden, transforming a private struggle into a shared journey. Think about the contrast. On one side, neglect. You carry the stress, say nothing, and watch your health and relationship slowly unravel. On the other, self-care and courage. You move your body, care for your sleep, and share openly with your partner. Which man do you want to be? The one who hides his struggles and loses connection, or the one who faces them head on and grows stronger for it? This doesn't just affect you. It affects your partner too. Studies show that when one partner struggles silently, the other often internalizes it, blaming themselves or assuming rejection. That breeds resentment and distance. But when you share, when you admit, this is what's happening and I want us to face it together, intimacy deepens. Suddenly, it's not about failure. It's about teamwork. It's about building something stronger than sex trust. And here's the good news. Sexual health is incredibly resilient. When you reduce stress, when you treat underlying conditions, when you commit to open communication, function often returns. Even men who have gone years without confidence can see profound improvement once the cycle of stress and silence is broken. The body wants to heal, but you have to give it the chance. So let me ask you, are you going to let stress and silence rob you of intimacy? Or are you going to reclaim control? Will you choose the path of myths, pretending everything is fine, or the path of science, where action, care, and connection unlock real healing? The decision isn't just about sex. It's about how you show up in life, in love, and in legacy. Because here's the mic drop truth. Stress will steal your health in silence, but speaking up can save it. Choose courage over quiet. And you don't just protect your erections. You protect your relationship, your confidence, and the man you're meant to be. Here's something most men don't realize: the strength of your erections is directly tied to the strength of your arteries. That's right. Your blood vessels, the very highways that deliver oxygen to your heart and brain, are the same ones responsible for delivering blood flow to your penis. Which means that erectile dysfunction isn't just a bedroom problem. It's often the first warning sign of cardiovascular disease. In fact, studies show that men with ED are up to 3 times more likely to develop heart disease within 5 years. So when your body struggles to maintain blood flow during intimacy, it might be telling you that your heart and arteries are struggling too. This truth can feel uncomfortable. Men are taught to think of erections as a measure of masculinity, not as a medical signal. So when changes happen, the instinct is often to hide, to deny, or to chase a quick fix with medication. But let me be clear, medication may help symptoms, but it doesn't heal the cause. If your blood vessels are inflamed, if plaque is building in your arteries, if your lifestyle is slowly restricting the very flow of life, no pill will save you in the long run. The real solution begins with how you live, what you eat, how you move, how you treat your body daily. Now, let's look at the biology. An erection requires the release of nitric oxide, and which relaxes blood vessels and allows blood to fill the penile tissue. But conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, smoking, obesity, and high cholesterol damage those blood vessels. Over time, they lose elasticity, blood flow weakens, and erections fade. It's not just age, it's vascular health. And here's the important point: you can change it. Unlike genetics, your arteries respond powerfully to lifestyle choices. The same steps that reduce your risk of heart attack, regular exercise, balanced nutrition, Quitting smoking, moderating alcohol also restore erectile strength. But this isn't only about biology, it's about psychology and relationships. When men avoid the truth, when they rely only on quick fixes without addressing the root cause, they often feel a nagging loss of control. That insecurity can spill into relationships, leading to frustration, avoidance, or conflict. Contrast that with a man who takes ownership, who sees his sexual health not as a shameful secret, but as motivation for transformation. His partner notices the energy shift. His confidence grows not just in intimacy, but in every area of life. That's the power of self-care. It doesn't just change your body, it changes how you show up in the world. So here's the challenge. Are you willing to face the truth, or will you cling to myths? Myth ED is just part of getting older. Fact: many men maintain strong sexual function well into their 70s and 80s when they protect their vascular health. Myth: testosterone alone will fix the problem. Fact: while hormones matter, blood flow is the foundation, and without healthy arteries, no hormone therapy will be enough. Myth: intimacy ends when performance changes. Fact: intimacy often deepens when couples approach health challenges together. Combining medical treatment with lifestyle shifts. Let's turn this into empowerment. Start small. Add a 30-minute walk after dinner. Swap processed foods for more vegetables, fruits, and healthy fats. Quit smoking, not just for your lungs, but for your erections. Manage stress through mindfulness or therapy, because cortisol and anxiety directly impair sexual performance. These aren't abstract tips, they are proven, science-backed strategies that improve both heart and sexual health. And when you implement them, the benefits ripple far beyond the bedroom: clearer energy, sharper focus, longer life. Ask yourself, will you ignore the signal and gamble with your health, or will you use it as the wake-up call it truly is? One path leads to pills, frustration, and hidden risk. The other leads to transformation, stronger arteries, stronger erections, and a stronger life. Which path do you want for yourself? Because here's the mic drop truth: every erection is a reflection of your arteries. Protect your blood flow, and you don't just protect your masculinity. You protect your heart, your future, and the relationships that matter most. Here's the truth most people never hear: intimacy is not just about what happens in your body. It's about what happens in your mind and in your heart. You can have perfect hormone levels, excellent blood flow, and even strong pelvic floor muscles, but if you are carrying shame, silence, or disconnection in your relationship, your sexual health will suffer. Erections, desire, satisfaction, these are not only physical reflexes. They are shaped by your psychology, your confidence, and the quality of your connection with your partner. Ignoring that truth is one of the biggest mistakes men and women make. Think about it. How many men worry more about performance than presence? How many women feel unseen because intimacy is treated like an act instead of an experience? This is where the biology and psychology meet. When stress, anxiety, or self-doubt creep in, your brain triggers adrenaline, the same hormone that prepares you to run from danger. But adrenaline is the enemy of arousal. It constricts blood vessels, reduces penile blood flow, and makes it nearly impossible to sustain an erection. Your body cannot be in fight or flight mode and intimacy mode at the same time. This is why confidence and calm matter just as much as physiology. Yet society has built myths that hold people back. Men are told they must always be ready, always perform, always be strong. Women are told to stay silent about dissatisfaction. Couples are told that intimacy should just happen naturally without communication. But let's be honest, that's not reality. In reality, every couple struggles at some point. Every man will experience changes in desire or function. Every woman will face shifts in her body. And when those moments come, pretending nothing is wrong or blaming yourself only deepens the divide. Here's the challenge: stop clinging to myths and start embracing truth. The truth is that intimacy thrives not from perfection, but from connection. Couples who communicate openly about their needs, fears, and desires report higher satisfaction, even when facing medical challenges. Men who seek help for erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, or low testosterone often rediscover not just sexual confidence, but a sense of wholeness in their lives. Women who address pelvic floor disorders, bladder leaks, or pain during sex often find their self-esteem restored alongside their health. Science proves that intimacy improves when health and honesty walk together. But let's build this intensity further, because it isn't just about your sex life. This is about your entire well-being. When you neglect your sexual health, it spills into your energy, your relationships, and even your longevity. Men with untreated erectile dysfunction face higher rates of depression, isolation, and cardiovascular disease. Women who ignore pelvic floor issues often suffer anxiety, reduced mobility, and a decline in confidence. Contrast that with those who take action. They don't just regain intimacy, they regain life. They feel younger, more empowered, and more connected to their partners. So what does action look like? For men, it means treating erectile dysfunction as a medical condition, not a personal failure. Getting evaluated for blood flow, hormones, and stress levels. It means practicing healthy habits that fuel both your heart and your erections exercise, balanced diet, quality sleep, and managing stress. For women, it means refusing to accept leakage, pain, or shame as just part of aging. It means working with pelvic floor therapists, using medical options when necessary, and reclaiming autonomy over their bodies. And for couples, it means breaking the silence, turning intimacy into a conversation, not a test. Ask yourself, do you want to live a life where intimacy feels like pressure, where silence drives distance, where myths define your self-worth? Or do you want to live a life where intimacy is partnership, where honesty fuels desire, where health and connection build something lasting? The choice is not just about your bedroom. It's about the legacy of how you love and how you live. Because here's the mic drop truth: real intimacy is not measured by performance, but by presence. Strengthen your health, speak your truth, and show up fully. And you won't just transform your sexual life, you'll transform your entire life.